Hey there, Combo Cabal, Bryant Cook, and I am really excited because today we are playing a spicy deck. We are playing Dredge Storm. And how that deck works is we abuse dredge creatures such as Golgari Thug and Stinkweed Imp. We pair those with Cathartic Reunion and Thrill Possibility. Sadly, Tormenting Voice doesn't make the cut. Being a sorcery doesn't really matter, but it's just slightly more optimal to run Thrill Possibility. So, how this deck works is that you dredge your deck using these dredge creatures and these draw spells, and then you use a card named Underworld Breach to abuse your graveyard. So, uh, you use these cards that you mill to exile to buy back rituals and draw spells. Eventually, you deck yourself, and then you cast Thassa's Oracle. And you can make this process a little bit more efficient by running Locket of Yesterdays. You get the blue mana from Manamorphose. That said, I really wish this deck actually had a second copy of Manamorphose. I'd like to see one less Locket plus one Manamorphose, if I'm being honest. Because if you have to escape the Manamorphose, you really wish that there was another. You do have a Grape Shot for this purpose, but Manamorphose is also the only card in the deck that gives you plus one card in hand. Because Cathartic Reunion and Throw Possibility are both break evens, Manamorphose allows you to just get ahead. It's the only card in the deck that does that. So I'd personally like to see a second copy of Manamorphose over the Locket. We have Shred Memory as a tutor for Underworld Breach. I'd like to note you cannot transmute from the graveyard, so that effect does not work. This is probably the only slot in this deck that I'm not crazy about, if I'm being honest. Like, I understand that it's a tutor for Underworld Breach, but this is the only slot that I'm not like, yeah, this is good. Like, all of this makes sense to me, other than the Shred Memory. This could also be a Manamorphose and keeping 4 copies of Locket. I'd also be okay with that. Um, I'm not sold on Gemstone Caverns, but then again, I'm not against it. I've just never really used it in my combo decks. Like, I've never played the Ad Nauseam deck in Modern, for example. So I like this deck is really powerful, and that's what excites me about it. Like, this deck is going to do a lot of degenerate things. I've never played it, so I don't know how good it is. I hope we crush today for sure. And thank you for the donation. This is a donation deck. So yeah, in the sideboard, I did make one small change. There was 4 copies of Inquisition of Kozilek. I happen to own 4 Thoughtseize, and Inquisition is only good against the blue decks, in my opinion. Like, you're not boarding it in other matchups, and the life loss doesn't matter there. And with Thoughtseize, you're able to hit things like Cryptic Command or, other various things, Large Teferi, whatever. So I think Thoughtseize is a slight upgrade. And then I turned the 4th one into a Weather the Storm. If you watch my Modern video from yesterday, Rug Storm, the Weather of the Storm was huge there. Red is one of the most popular decks in the format right now between Burn and Is It Blitz, and Weather happens to be great against both. Um, you're not boarding in Inquisition against Burn anyway. You'd probably just board the 2 green cards here. So I like Blood Moon. My one concern I have with this deck is that it's very, very linear. And I don't like when decks don't have a plan B. The way that I play Gift Storm is we do have plan Bs. So this deck is lacking that. Like, Leyline of the Void is going to be a trouble. Is like going to be an issue. We do have 2 Nature's Claims, but that's it. I'd honestly like to see a slight change, like, or a plan B. We could even run Bergie in this deck. So, like, what if Shred Memory and these 2 merchants were Bergies instead? Bergie, the back half of Horn does allow you to discard, which works with the dredge creatures. Am I allowed to change that? This is a donation deck, but Bergie seems bananas. Um, Geez, I don't know if I'm allowed to change something like this for a donation deck. Hmm. All right, please forgive me. I'm gonna switch these to Bergie because I really do wish that this deck had a plan B. And there she is. Please don't hang me. But this seems really good. It also works when you're doing the whole Underworld Breach combo thing. Yeah, this seems great. I'm excited about this. This gives us a real plan B that can win through Graveyard Hate as well. Um, yeah. This seems sweet. I'm excited about this now. Okay, so this is the deck list. Silent Gravestone is mainly for surgical extraction, and everything else makes sense. So I've modified this deck list a little bit. Hopefully, the person that donated doesn't mind. And as always, thank you for submitting deck lists for donation decks. If you're interested in that sort of thing, use the contact form on theabyxforum.com and we can talk about setting this up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you hate my changes, let me know as well. And tell me why. Just don't be rude. Just tell me why you think that my changes might have been wrong. And if you want to support this content, you can do so by subscribing. Go below, smash that subscribe button, and show your appreciation for this great combo content. Uh, that's all I have to say for now. I'm really excited to play this, and stick around for the matches. It should be really sweet. Welcome to round number 1. I am so excited to play this deck. Like, it is so freaking sweet. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. Like, this deck seems really awesome. Like, I am legitimately excited to play this deck today. Wow. I think I might record another donation deck after this league, depending how this one goes. Alright, Llanowar Elves. Classic. Right on time, Genstone Caverns. Right on time. I think we just play the Neonate here. We were facing Elves. Wow, that's powerful. But is it good enough to beat Dredge Storm? So I'll be completely honest with you. After my last video, the Rug Storm Modern video, I was looking at it and I'm like, Bryant, you are fat, you haven't shaved, and you need a haircut. I could fix 2 of the 3 of those pretty easily. So I did that. Still need to work on the weight thing. I feel like I've gained like 10 pounds over COVID because I don't leave the house. It's just bad. And now we're going to dredge. That was good. Are we able to win? I don't think so. I think instead I'm just going to ritual out Bergie and then win next turn. Like, we definitely have a win next turn right now. And they might be able to kill us, but, like, I sort of doubt it. Okay, Beast Whisperer might do it. I guess how we would win is if they got stuck with a bunch of lands. Like, we might be dead here. Beast Whisperer is really sweet. Alright, they might fizzle here. Yeah, they fizzled. Alright, time to win. Actually, am I mana short? just want to think about this. I might be a mana short. So we're going to cast Cathartic Reunion. We'll escape the last 3 cards. We're going to discard these 2 and dredge a bunch. We might be fine. Bergie looking good so far, though. That was really good. We can Cathartic Reunion again now. Just remove 3 lands. Wow, Bergie seems bananas. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but it's making winning right here super easy. So now we need to ritual. I guess I could also cast Locket of Yesterdays. Because it's free. Sorry, I forgot to mute before I started recording. So there's 2 copies of Desperate Ritual in the graveyard, which makes this better to cast because of the Locket. I don't know if there's 2 Pyretics. There might be. We have no need for another Locket of Yesterdays. We broke the format with a donation deck. A deck that was not my own. We broke it. Let's cast this Cathartic Reunion. I'm not bringing back Neonate. Right, 3 cards left in the deck. Storm's only 7. So we definitely need to win with the Oracle. I guess I could just draw 3 with Reunion and not Dredge. I'll remove the Dredge creature so I'm not tempted. I guess I'm discarding 2, so that doesn't make sense. Cancel. Cancel. I'll deck myself if I do that. That was almost bad. Because I have to cast Manamorphose. I almost just lost myself this game. And I realized that I could cast Oracle now, but it's just better to do it with no deck. So I'm going to make sure that I have no deck when I cast it. This deck's sweet. Huzzah! We won our first game. Yeah. I might play this deck again. Like, this is so... Like, we'll see how this league goes, but I'm really excited. Alright, so do we have a board plan versus Elves? Are we supposed to just board in, like, Nature's Claims and Silent Gravestones every match? I don't know. Well, I guess I could look up a recent Elves list. Let's do the bare minimum amount of work here. Choke, Ooze, Sphere. Ooze is actually pretty bad. I don't know how we beat that. Rav Trap. Thoughtseize hits Rav Trap. So we're supposed... Whoops. You don't get to see that. So we'll board him Thoughtseize, and what do we take out? Maybe a couple Locket of Yesterday. Like, you only need one of these. Maybe that's just the board plan. Stay consistent. Let's try this out. I think we need to ship that. This seems decent. Not as good as our first hand. I also wonder if you're supposed to like mulligan until you have a breach in hand. I don't know. Also, like, are you not supposed to dredge on these first ones until you do find a breach? These are a lot of questions I have. Opponent has 2 cards left in hand. One card left in hand. It's probably like a collected company. Okay, we're gonna cast the Reunion here. Alright, not ideal. That said, if we draw Breach, we might be able to win next turn. This deck's fast. Slow rolled the Tormod script. I think that's actually fine. Ooh, they had company and then probably drew Tormod script. All right. Hmm. Um, we're a mana short. I don't think we can beat Tormod script. Maybe I was supposed to. Um, we drew. I had the ritual in hand, so these were the three I drew. Maybe I was. I don't know. Also, like this Manamorphos getting hit by Tormod script is going to make winning very difficult, which is another reason having two would be nice. All right, so we hit the ritual. We need our opponent to not use their Tormod script here in order for us to win. Um, okay. Game three. I guess I'm supposed to board a Nature's Claims. Take out. Everything's so vital to this deck. We're on the play, so maybe shave a Gemstone Cavern. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to board in 5 cards. Like, everything is a combo piece. All right. Like, I just don't think we can afford to take anything out. I'm like, Locket of Yesterdays isn't vital. Um, this hand just needs a second land. Theoretically, this Nature's Claim could be a Locket of Yesterdays or the second land we needed. Are they debating showing us the Tormod script? I think that's what they're doing. Come on. All right. I guess while we wait, if you want to support this content, you can do so by visiting theepicstorm.com/shop. Get cool things there, such as the TES mini tokens, the Storm 20 baseball tee, or even an Epic Storm pint glass to grab a drink out of, which is what I'm going to do right now. Speaking of the mini tokens, you get 54 of them. You get 20 Storm, 10 black, 10 red, 6 blue, 3 of the remaining ones. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. And on the back, you get 54 Goblin tokens, 6 of each. And they're mini. They're half the size of a standard Magic the Gathering card. And once again, theepicstorm.com/shop. And our opponent has finally decided to cast their Tormod's Crypt, which we realized that they had. We did not draw the land. I don't know what happened. Like, our opponent was playing at a pretty reasonable pace, and now they're playing glacially. I don't need this Thug, and I'd rather try to find a land here. Unfortunate. Yeah, come on, Dad, give me a land. Give me a fetch land, that's what I want. Jeez. Were we supposed to ship that 7? Like, it was a very reasonable keep. Like, we really have to draw a fetch land because we only have the one stomping ground in the deck. 6 fetches. And we're just drawing terribly. Maybe our first hand was the nut and we'll never experience that high ever again in our lives. Like the first time they say that, like when you do heavy drugs, you're always chasing that high. Maybe with Dredge Storm, you're always chasing that game number one. All right, so our window's closing pretty quickly here. Unfortunate. Like, I just think that we're dead here. Like, we can't win. Yeah, that's lethal. All right, so we lost our first round. The post board games didn't really go that well, but we drew really poorly. Unfortunately, let's see if we can bounce back and win out. All right, we're back for round number 2. We're on the draw, which means that this Gemstone Caverns is live. That said, I don't think this hand is very good. We're gonna ship it. Are we supposed to keep this? I don't think so. I think we need to go to 5. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to have the exile card. I have no idea what our opponent's playing. Then again, they probably have no idea what we're doing. Also, I wonder if like the mana base is built wrong. Now that I'm thinking about it, because we cut the shred memory and we have 4 copies of Blood Crypt. It should probably be more green based due to all these green sideboard cards. Because that would have given us more outs in our game 1 to draw a green source to answer the Torment script. And I'm just going to take draws here because we have to find the breach. We can just cast Thrill on their end step. So we know that our opponent has a swamp in hand. Alright, still no breach. Oh no. You've run out of gas. We are all in on drawing Underworld Breach right now. I mean, honestly, Bergie would also be insane. Um, so we did add 3 draws to the deck that are just like game winning. Because we could cast Horn and go to town. Well, there's Bergie. My fear is like of Bergie getting countered. Um, so Spell Pierce will counter Bergie right now if I play Horn. So am I supposed to play the Ritual just to make sure that she resolves through Spell Pierce? Maybe it's playing a little too cautiously. Um, I think I'm just going to pass. I also wonder if like you could get away with like maybe even 4 Bergie, just so that way we're not always trying to draw Breach. Because like that's how we lost the first. Like also Bergie would have been great in both those post board games. Maybe like 4 Bergie. Like I know that seems crazy, but I don't know what our opponent's doing, but their deck seems sweet. Do I want to dredge? I don't think so. Fast as Oracles are win con, so we would like to win this turn. I guess the one problem with Horn is that all of our draw spells are tied to discarding cards from hand. Jeez. So our best win condition is about to be removed. Just to make sure I can't... Yeah, I can't sack that. Oh, we're dead to the spirit. It's a 6/6. So we lost because we couldn't find Breach. Also, so going back to what I was saying before about Morphos being the only card that creates a plus, I think we want more copies of Manamorphose in this list if we're going to be running Bergie. So I guess that requires a little bit of a list overhaul. So I think we need to board out 3 Locket again. I wonder if like you can shave on dredgers against control decks. Do something like that. Let's try this out. Sure. Yeah, I do think the mana base needs to be reconfigured a little bit with the change. Like we probably want to run like two of each um, shock land. Like four Blood Crypt is probably too many. Like it's probably too many even with the just the transmute card. Hmm. Also, feel free to let me know if I'm misplaying, because I might actually play this deck again. It's kind of cool. Looks like our opponent might have drawn a counter spell. Maybe I should have tried to cast this on their end stop. Nope. So now they're going to play the Jorn. Or the back half of Jorn. Hmm. Sacrifices on 10? They're almost there. We drew a good card. Can we win? No Dredger. I think I'm going to wait. So this gives them 8. Hmm. I think I'm just going to pass. Well, I'm going to keep this Gemstone Caverns in hand so that way I have something to discard to Cathartic Reunion if I need it. So this gives them 9. One more would give them a Merit Lodge. So now they definitely have a Mirage next turn. I wonder if you need 4 Locket. Like, could these Lockets be something else? Like, you could get away with playing 1 Locket. I don't think you need all 4. Time to shine. We hit our Dredger. Okay. We did not hit another desert. Oh, no, we did. So that way this will cost less. Reunion again. Excuse me. Can you cast the Flip Half of Bergie? You can. That's bananas. Because that could dodge Graveyard Hate on the Oracle. Why am I removing Dredgers? Do I really want to be doing that? Okay, so we just have to mill the rest of our deck. Hmm. What's the best way of doing this? I guess it probably is Thrill. Three cards left. Sorry if I'm taking a little long time. I just want to make sure I'm not messing up. Whoa, no! Okay, I guess it didn't matter. That was an accident, though. Not what I meant to do. I even just said I'm playing slowly to not mess up, and then I messed up. So this one needs to make blue blue, and then we oracle. All right, so we squeaked out game number 2. Squeaked is probably accurate. They didn't have a whole lot of interaction, or maybe they just didn't draw it. We're just gonna resubmit. Why not? Make sure you follow all of our social media channels. You can find those in the description below. Be a part of the Storm community. It's a great place. Get better. Join the Storm count. All right. So we've opened up Breach and Bergie. No discard outlet for these dredgers. I think I'm actually going to keep this. And let's exile one of these thugs. I thought about casting a thug there. I just don't think there's anything to be gained by doing so. Nile Spellbomb. Bergie, Bergie, Bergie. So we're looking to draw a Cathartic Reunion or a Thrill Possibility this turn. Ding dong. So we milled the locket, but then we're a mana short of winning. Why not? I'm gonna cast it Thug. Make them think we're on the beatdown plan. Maybe, like, maybe 4 locket isn't right, but maybe 1 isn't right correct. Or, like, 1 isn't correct either. Like, you might want, like, 2 or 3 of that card. I'm just not sure. This neonate's free because of Bergie. Sack the imp. There's a ritual in there, so if we cast this breach, I think we get to win. Okay. It's pretty. Uh, is it free? I'd like to play this Locket because it makes casting Desperate Ritual cost one less. Remove Thoughtseize, Veil, Bergie. Like maybe it should be like 2 Locket. I just think that 4 is probably too many, and we do want more Manamorphose in the deck. At least in my opinion. Hmm. Sort of just at like a break-even point at the moment. Like we're gaining mana, but we're not really gaining cards in graveyard. There's Cathartic, that which is pretty good. Okay, so let's do some dredging. Storm 9. So if we dredge Stinkweed and then draw 2, cast Morphos, that leaves us with 0 in deck. We have to make blue on this. So technically, I think I've been messing up because I think what we want to do is actually cast Morphos multiple times for blue, and or like another color so we could Thoughtseize or Veil if we need to. Because like right now I couldn't recast the Oracle. I could build up Storm for Grapeshot, but that doesn't matter. One and one with Dredge Storm. And we're back for round number 3 with the Dredge Storm. We're on the draw. We have Gemstone Caverns. I think we're supposed to keep this. Temple of Deceit. That used to mean Ad Nauseam. I don't know what it means now. Lotus Bloom. Okay, so it means Ad Nauseam. um, so we're looking to outrace Ad Nauseam here. They don't have Seeming Spirit Guide in their deck any longer. They're probably winning with like Angel's Grace, Oracle, Spoils. Oh, they had Double Bloom. So they're definitely winning on their turn 4. We need to find Underworld Breach. Alright, I'm going to take a Dredge here because we need to win quickly. And we can't afford to find Breach and then not have a graveyard. So, yeah. I'm going to main phase this Thrill. Just in case we draw like a Neonate, we want to be able to cast it or a Locket. I'm just going to take 2 draws here. I'm not going to Dredge. Also, like the main deck Lockets, like we could probably play some protection in the main deck. Like right now, we're a little bit of a glass cannon. Some protection wouldn't hurt. Interesting that they played out Oracle. Maybe they just don't need it. Like maybe their hand has all the stuff that they need. I'm not going to Dredge because we need to draw the Breach. Drew Locket, which doesn't do anything. Like, that's like sort of the issue with this card is that it's a do nothing until it's okay. And when it's okay, it's just reducing all your stuff by 1. But maybe you just don't need that effect. Yep. And now they cast Ad Nauseam. I'd like to see how this actually works. So, like, what do they win with now without having Seeming Spirit Guide? Infernal Plunge. So they're going to make 3 red. And then cast Lightning Storm. I guess you could Pentaprism for 3 red, but that seems kind of poopy. For double red to make 1 man of any color. So they still have a land drop this turn, and they can cast Infernal Plunge. And they can cast Ornithopter. Into Lotus Bloom for red and 1 colorless. Or for red and 1 of any color, I mean. And to, not, I can't talk right now. So you cast Infernal Plunge, and then you play Pented Prism, which gives you red and then one of any color. How do we die from there? Because right now you can't cast Thassa's Oracle. Like, that's what I'm getting hung up on. So you just switched Pented Prisms. How did you cast that? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, am I missing something? So they played a land. Sunburst 2 and Sunburst 1. I don't understand what just happened. They went from 1 mana to 4 somehow? Because they had no mana with the Ad Nauseam. Infernal Plunge. Oh, I see, I see. So they filtered the red floating into another Pented... Never. It took me a second. I got there. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. Thoughtseize is probably fine. Guess we could board in Blood Moons. Try to slow them down a little bit. But do we have cards we'd rather take out? That's the question. Probably don't need the Grape Shot. What about something like that? Let's try this out. Sure. Opponent is mulliganing to 5. Yeah, like, there's so many things you could do with those extra locket slots. Like, you could run Bergie number 4. You could run, like, an Empty the Warrens, just because that plays around Grave Hate. I don't think I'd want the empty main, to be honest, but it's something you could do. It's just, like, run 1 empty just to be Grave Hate. Like, there's a lot of ways you could take this deck, I think. Empty might not be great. So they're going to Angel's Grace in their upkeep. We need 1 more mana. Maybe I'm supposed to be boarding in Nature's Claim, too. I didn't think of that. Chance we die here, unfortunately. Okay, so that's going to allow us to be able to win next turn. I don't know if the opponent can kill us from where we're at. Right, I guess they could have Spoils, Oracle, Angel's Grace is their last three. It's one way we could lose. They could have Pact right now to stop us as well. This is always the worst part about playing Breach decks is literally just the nitty gritty of actually winning the game. Let's cast Cathartic. Alright, now we'll reunion again. Don't need these breaches. Trying to figure out if I want to dredge here. Probably not. Because if they counter the Oracle. Doesn't hurt to play this as a fetch. I don't think I have any lands left, but we'll see. Ooh. Um. So they can impact here, and then Angel's Grace in their upkeep. I didn't consider that. So how do we win now? Because we can't grape shot them out either, I think. I guess I could attack them. Uh, where's the grape shot? This was an accidental good thing, I suppose. Glad I didn't draw my entire deck. And we're passing. Next turn I could even play Stinkweed as a flying attacker. Like, let's say they play an Oracle here as a blocker. I could play Stinkweed. So they do have an Ornithopter in their deck. Another Angel's Grace would also do it, unfortunately. Oh. Looks like we're dead. So close. Maybe we're also dead to just the Angel's Grace. So close. Kind of a bummer. I don't know if there was a way I could have beaten that. I suppose. No, because they had the other Angel's Grace in hand. I mean, they might have just drawn it. Maybe there was like a window there where I could have like... I discarded a Breach to Cathartic Reunion in the middle of that combo turn. Maybe there was a way to keep the Breach in hand at some point. But like they had another Grace. We don't know if they drew it or not that turn, but that theoretically could have led to another Grape Shot. Oh well, no point dwelling on it. We're 1-2. Let's try to get the next couple. Match number 4. We're on the play. Let's get this one. Need to ship that. Honestly, I kind of wish these Gemstone Caverns were just more real lands. I don't know if the speed matters, but like certainly not having red sources is bad. We did have to mulligan one hand because of double gemstone as well, where that hand was probably a keep. This hand seems fine. I think we're supposed to bottom the locket. Turn 2 Ritual Bird. I think this deck has a lot of potential. It might just need to be fine-tuned a little bit. I think it's actually really powerful. And it's definitely up my wheelhouse. Very affordable as well. Looks like it could be Amulet. Amulet is a deck that does run a bunch of main deck Bojuka Bog. And by that I mean one that they can repeatedly bounce. But we're starting our assault with Bergie, God of Storytelling. Let's tell the story of us smashing their fucking face. Let's do that. Explore. I'd like to see a dredge creature here. Back when what is it called? Uh, Blue Red Storm used to be a Pyromancer Ascension deck. Towards the end, right before the pro banning, I was running a list with Cathartic Reunion because when you copy it with Pyromancer's Ascension, it gets really nutty. And we're gonna pass. I'm gonna start off by attacking here because we could play Breach and kill the Dryad and the Tribe Scout. Um, Actually, they could double block, and that ends up being really bad for me. I don't think I'm going to attack. So I could play Breach, which generates red. I think I have to pass. Also, if like these were more fetch lands, you have more cards to escape with. So, I mean, I've suggested a lot of things in this video for possible improvements. I do think main deck protection is a pretty big one. Like, Thoughtseize seems kind of nice in the style deck, considering you can target yourself to hit dredgers as well if you need to. But I'd probably like to see Thoughtseize. Um, yeah, I do think this deck has a lot of potential. I'm not trying to be like overly negative or too optimistic. I'm just trying to be realistic. It's doing a lot of powerful things. It just needs refinement. So our Bergie's 100% dying right here. Um, I don't think we have a draw that wins the game. Assuming we even get another draw step. Because they do have the Tribe Scout, so they can just put a land into play and kill us. Yep. Okay. Well, how about that? We're going to be boarding in these Bloodmoons now. And Thoughtseize. I like splitting up the dredgers that you're boarding out because it hedges a little bit against surgical extraction, which is always a bonus. And I don't like. You don't need 8 dredgers. Like you really only need to find 1 or 2, and then the rest of your deck is live. So don't like. I don't think boarding 1 of each out is like the worst thing ever. And remember, if you want to support this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. Get your card singles there. Okay, we're back. Game number 2 against Amulet Titan. We've opened up double Breach again, which was a little bit awkward in game number 1. I would keep this hand assuming that we had a second land. That is not the case, so I'm going to ship it. Oh. I mean, I think I'm supposed to keep this and just bottom the Oracle. Alright. Not really sure what we're looking to draw, but we need to fix this hand up. A Dredger would probably be decent. Underworld Breach is obviously welcome. Blood Moon would be pretty good. We can't cast Blood Moon this turn. I think land 3 might be a little bit more valuable. Blood Moon draws welcome at this point. That is also welcome. I'm going to just pass. I can throw on their Unstep and avoid Bojuka Bog. Alright, no Bog. So sometimes these decks play Pact. And I mean sometimes, most of the time these decks play Pact, which could stop us from winning. Cathartic Reunion. Now we cast a few rituals. Whoops. Let's cast the Locket. Let's make this just a little bit smoother. We're not casting these thrills. We can exile those. Hold on. I think I might have set that up wrong. Discard 2 cards. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not, like, exiling those. And we've taken game number 2. Okay. Playing this deck feels a lot like playing Pioneer Breach. Back when it was still legal. I think I'm going to leave it as is. They got to see our Blood Moon tech, but it's not the end of the world. So they're probably boarding in some sort of answer to Blood Moon at the moment. If they have like a Nature's Claim or what is it called? The 1 green destroy a 3 or less. It's not Nature's Claim. I don't know. But like that would be a reasonable card for them to have because it kills both Breach and Blood Moon. This hand has potential. I'm going to keep it. Opponent is mulligan to 6 and now they're tanking. Okay, so they've bottomed a card. We can finally play Magic. Our hand needs a little bit of work, but like this hand's very promising to me. And now they have instant speed Bazooka Bog, hypothetically. We do have Bergie as a way of winning via Horn. And second Bergie makes it pretty easy. Ooh, Vesuva. Okay, so now they're getting closer to packed mana. And now they actually have packed mana. They also have instant speed Bajuka Bog. Ooh. They still have packed mana. Alright, I'm going to burn a Breach here just to Thoughtseize them. And I'm going to take the Summoner's Pact. I just want to delay Titan. As long as I can. Like, we could always draw another copy of Thoughtseize or whatever. I would love to see them pack this. And they did. It's worth noting we are at 12. We're not that far away from just beatdown death. Alright, Bergie again. A dredge creature as our draw step would probably allow us to win. I don't want to say we would definitely win, but there's a good chance. We have 6 dredge creatures in our deck. They decided the 1 damage wasn't worth it. Or the 2 damage, because I would definitely try to kill this. We did draw a dredge creature. Am I going off too early here? I think I might have miscounted. Maybe not. Because Thrill makes one. Yeah, okay. So we're going to Thrill. We might actually be fine here. Blood Moon. I don't want to remove the Thrill. Okay, so we're in a spot where we need to ritual now. Now we can reunion. Our opponent's conceded. So now we are 2-2. Round number 5, the final round. We're gonna get this one. I can feel it. Let's be 3-2. Let's get my money back. Yeah, I think that this deck is really sweet when it works. When it doesn't work, it's sort of a feel bad. But there's ways to improve that. This hand is not a keep. We're gonna ship that. Jeez, this hand is so close. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hope. Really need to draw a second land. Jund? That'll land. Hey! And I'm just going to pass. We'll Thrill on their end step. And it does look like Jund. I think I'd rather take a real draw here. Drew a Thug anyway. My problem with playing Bergie here is I feel like it's pretty likely to die. And I'm burning a ritual to do it. Alright, so if we draw a Breach next turn, we could win. At this point, we're just trying to draw Breach. If we draw land, I can play Horn, which is kind of cool. Okay, Inquisition was obviously good here. We're still in the camp of just draw Breach. That hasn't changed. If they hold up Decay, that's an issue. It looks like they are holding up Decay. Decay is not up right now. Let's draw that Breach. I am pretending to want to apply pressure to run here. Liliana of the Veil. Breach, 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 breach. Nope. All right. I don't want to do that. Do I have to? I guess so. I didn't realize that it was a must. Maybe I shouldn't have played it then. Um, our opponent is representing lethal next turn. Yeah, so if our opponent sees it, they have lethal. What they'll do is they'll minus Liliana to make a sacrifice a creature. They'll animate the Raging Ravine, attack for 10, minus the run for 1. And we've lost game number 1. They're holding up Decay permanently now, so it just doesn't matter. That Breach card didn't want to show up that game. We will be boarding in Blood Moon. Seems pretty good here. Same thing with the Veil of Summer. Let's get rid of these lockets. They're just decay targets. I think lands are actually pretty good, so I don't really want to board those out. This isn't a great matchup for Bergie, to be honest, just because the front half is easily hit by decay. That said, the back half is really powerful. I don't like boarding in the Silent Gravestones blind. Like, Jund is a deck that could have Surgicals, but they could also have Leyline. Yeah. It's tough to say. Like maybe I'm supposed to be boarding in the Nature's Claims too. I don't know. But it just seems really bad to be boarding in Nature's Claim without knowing. And what are you boarding out? Like, that's another question. Because like I've said before, everything in this deck is part of an engine. I guess you could board out like 2 Thrill possibility. Let's try this. Okay. And while we wait, one final reminder. If you want to support this content, you can visit theepicstorm.com/shop to show your support for the Combo Cabal today. Game 3. No second land. Wish I could keep this. We could get lucky and draw a land. We have a turn 2 Blood Moon. I think I just need to ship it. This hand is not any better. It is Thoughtseize proof, though, regarding Blood Moon. Just need to draw a land. Not gonna complain about drawing Breach, but like a land would have been nice there. Ashiok's kind of a pain in the butt. And Ashiok then revealed the Blood Moon. Is this going to be enough to keep us in the game? So we do have 2 win cons, which means if Ashiok hits one of them, we're okay. Ooh, they had a swamp the whole time. My problem with things like Nature's Claim is I never ever want to side them in. Like, I'd rather go around with like another plan than to board in something like Nature's Claim. Why did they discard? Oh, because they can remove with Ashiok. I guess we'll cast the other Blood Moon. They are almost at the point with Ren and 6 that they'll be able to Emblem and Inquisition us every turn. Also, if they hit the Manamorphose, we cannot win with Oracle, which is kind of an issue. Yeah, I think we just want, like, instead of things like Nature's Claims, I think we want things in the board that win around Graveyard Hate. But maybe that's the wrong idea. Our opponent has already exiled 2 copies of Underworld Breach, which means if they start their Inquisition Onslaught this turn, we'll have 1 Breach left in the deck to win with. That said, we do have Horn available. Like, Horn is a way that we could theoretically win. We haven't milled any copies of Bergie yet. Oh, crap. I forgot it's a legendary card. Oh. That's just me playing poorly. They're on the Bolt You Out plan. Yeah, we're probably dead to that. Yeah, it's just dumb. So there's Bergie. So we need to not die here, and we need to be able to untap and win. They could Inquisition us, so that way we have less tools to win with. Do you have enough to quad bolt me right now? Alright, so let's start off by getting rid of this Nature's Claim. Do I want to cast Cathartic Reunion? Probably. We need a ritual here. Underworld Breach. So we hit the last breach. So now we can discard this one. We need to hit a ritual in order to attempt to win. We are down to our final card. We need to hit a ritual. There's a lot of them left. We did not hit ritual. Oh, why, deck? Why do you hate me? Oh, so many cards. Might as well play Neonate, I guess. We stood a shot of actually winning this game there. Now we're just dead to Bolt. Yep. And now they untap, they return a land with Ren, and then bolt us. Alright, so we finished this league 2 and 3. Let's look at the deck list one more time. Okay, so this is the deck list that I was submitted for the most part. These were Inquisitions. One more Inquisition with one less Weather the Storm. I added in the Burgi. We saw that. I cut the 2 Merchant and the 1 Transmute Shred Memory. So my next suggestion would be, I think I'd like to see no Caverns if I were to play this deck on my own. I would like to see no Cavern. I think I want another green source for what it's worth. And if we're going to be a Blood Moon deck, we probably want off-color basics, if I'm being honest. So I'd probably run 1 Swamp main, maybe. Like, this could be off. Like, this could 100% be wrong. But I'm just trying to think out loud. Like, if we're going to be a Blood Moon deck, like, do we want to run... Actually, no. I think that's wrong. No, I would not run off-color lands. I think that's not correct. But 8 fetches probably seems fine. I'd run 1 more mountain. So that's 17 lands. I think I'd like to see the Thoughtseizes in the main. Just like, we want some sort of protection or way of slowing our opponent down as well. We're at 59 right now. You could add the Locket back in. I'd like to see a second Manamorphose for sure. Just so that way we can escape one or cast one later. If one gets exiled, we can still play Oracle. I'd almost like to see the 4th copy of Burgi, but that might be too much. Like, that just might not be where our deck list wants to be. I did not like Gemstone Caverns. I just don't think it's necessary. But then again, I'm not used to playing this deck. These are thoughts after one league. Please take these comments with a grain of salt. Like Bergie 4 might be too much. And I know that I talked about going around and not siding in Nature's Claims. I'd like to know if there's any suggestions from the Combo Cabal of ways of getting around that. Like it could be empty, but empty isn't at its best in this sort of list. So, like, also I'd probably run another Stomping Ground. I had to buy this one for this league, so I don't have to. But it should probably be a second Stomping Ground. Yeah. So those are my main thoughts. I don't like having to board in something like Nature's Claim. Just like it makes your deck really linear, and I think that you should be able to win through. Like 3 Bergie might be fine. Like you might not need a 4th. But I would like to find another way of winning in the board that beats Graveyard Hate. Bergie almost did it there. And like, Morphos is nice because it works well with Bergie because it gives you a card so you can keep chaining. Effects like Thrill and Cathartic don't, so there's some natural friction there. That said, the discard on Bergie works really well with Dredge creatures, so maybe somebody smarter than me can figure this out, and I can play it for another donation decklist league. But these are my thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you think that this deck is as cool as I do. I think this deck has a lot of potential. I think that match 1, game 1 was probably, like I said, we will be chasing that high for the rest of our lives. But that was really sweet, and it showed like the potential of this strategy, right? It just needs some fine tuning. Like that's the big thing, is it could probably just use a little bit more work, and maybe 1 locket in the main is fine, but I think more than 1 is probably just wrong. Like it's a little bit of a win more card, and maybe even 1 is wrong. So I am open to thoughts, suggestions, comments, etc. Leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.